minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds.
I'm here.
T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, ma'am.
Welcome to Lunchin with Lisa. I think we have a couple of people that might join in a little later. We might have lost Victoria, but I'm sure she'll get back on, and hopefully Tanya can come in. So I wanted to welcome everybody to Lunchin with Lisa.
Well, thank you.
This is actually the ending of my first month of Lunchin with Lisa. I started on August the 6th. And this is the last show of the month. I will say that all month long, I have been celebrating National Black Business Month because August is National Black Business Month. So I've made it a point to make sure that I'm highlighting Black businesses and what we're doing. It happens all year long, but this specifically is the month to make sure I do it. So I'm definitely going to make sure that you all share your businesses and how everybody can get in contact with you at the end of the show. But what I want to do first is I usually have a just because moment right at the beginning of the show, but I might save it for the end. I don't know. I wanted to, first of all, I usually kind of talk about national days of the month at the end of the show. But the reason why I want to talk about this first is because y'all know I'm a just because kind of girl. And I had started this just because moment where I just kind of highlight a business, somebody I supported, and I just do a shout out for their book or their makeup line or whatever it is, just randomly. I just randomly pick it. But I don't know if you all knew that today is actually National Just Because Day. So I didn't know they had a day for just because I do it all the time, but I can go with today. So what I did want to do is just because give away 2 of my books. But I think I'll save it for the end of the show so we can get into the conversation. So I want to actually introduce everybody first. So when I start introducing you, just kind of wave your hands so everybody knows who I'm talking to and who they looking at. And I'll actually save Tanya and Victoria for last so they can get back on. And everybody say hello to Sharon. Sharon's on. Thank you so much, Sharon, for tuning in. So I want to start introducing everybody. Let's see who we're going to start with first. I'm going to put Tanya and Victoria to the back. So let's start with Julie. So Julie was born. Julie, wave your hand so they know who you are. Julie was born on the island of Barbados in the Caribbean and immigrated to Philadelphia in 1985 as a teenager. She attended Springfield High School and went on to the Community College of Philadelphia, where she pursued business administration. Now, currently, Julie is the founder and CEO of Kingdom Citizens Network, LLC, that's based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the services offered are administration, which includes special event planning, virtual office assistance, booking and scheduling services, just to name a few. Now, Julie is also a pusher, an encourager, and one who partners with solopreneurs and entrepreneurs alike to grow their personal and professional brands human to human. In addition, Julie is the host of an annual singles conference presented by Kingdom Citizens Network, LLC, and she's a licensed ordained minister as well as a worship leader and speaker. Her latest project, Kingdom Style Magazine, was launched January 27th of 2018, of which she is the founder and editor-in-chief. Julie is a single mom of a beautiful blessing, her daughter Carletta, and her favorite quote is, "Nothing happens until you do something." Welcome, Julie, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And then we're going to introduce Tracy. So a lifelong resident of DMV, anyone who truly knows Tracy, and I know Tracy, Tracy's family. So I'll just say that we are family. Okay. But y'all are my family. So we truly knows Tracy will testify that her genuinely, she has the spirit of entrepreneurism coursing through her veins. As the founder and visionary behind several successful startup ventures, she's now firmly set her sights on devouring the dessert world with her latest endeavor, Tracy's Tasties. A proud graduate with a degree in communications from storied HBCU, Bowie State University, which she is really proud of. So I know somebody from Bowie is just, yay! Okay, so I can't do the Bowie thing. No, I went to Spelman. I didn't go to here. Can't do the Bowie. But the orgasmic array of delectable desserts offerings from Tracy's Tasties are sure to ultimately take the country by storm. When combining her artful skills of communication with her numerous years of administrative managerial experience in the professional world, Ms. Stevens is confident that she is uniquely qualified to lead her Tracy's Tasties business to the proverbial top of the dessert mountaintop. With an already impressive and still growing list of confectionery fare, Ms. Stevens sincerely believes that after many, many years of relentless pursuit, she may have finally found her long sought after sweet spot in the business world. Welcome, Tracy, to the show.
Thank you.
We also have Deputy Stephen Cooley, who joined the Gwinnett County Sheriff Department. So we have somebody from Atlanta. We mix it up every now and then. He joined the County Sheriff Department in 2003 and is currently serving at the Gwinnett County Justice Administration Center. He is an ordained and licensed minister and a retired Army serviceman with almost 22 years of service. Deputy Cooley holds a bachelor's in business and master's in biblical studies. Deputy Cooley has been married to his wife, Betty, for 42 years. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
And he has two sons, Stephen Jr. and Kelvin, both currently serving in the military, one in the Air Force and one in the Army. He is a proud grandfather of three, two boys and one girl. And Deputy Cooley states it was God that laid it on his heart to start the STRAP program. So along with three other co-founders, the STRAP Youth Intervention Mentoring Program came to fruition in 2012. For his commitment to our youth and voluntary contribution to the community, Deputy Cooley received the Deputy Sheriff of the Year Award from the Gwinnett Rotary Club in 2013, the Liberty Bell Award from Gwinnett County Bar Association in 2014, and the Daily Point of Light Award established and signed by President George Bush, and the Luth Spirit Award, Gwinnett County Value Award. Please welcome Deputy Cooley to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Erica just did a shout out to you.
Okay. Look, Kyra should show up.
Yes, I also wanted to. Our next guest is Shariva Smith, and you all have seen Shariva. Shariva is a DMV native, and she is the founder of Saving My Pockets. So Saving My Pockets came about while she was 3 months pregnant. Okay, that was a little noise. While she was 3 months pregnant with her daughter, she realized that there had to be a better way of making ends meet. So she went searching and came across a TV show about couponing. People were able to buy hundreds of dollars worth of products for cheap or free. So if you're interested in saving your pockets, make sure you tune into Shariva's. She has a tribe, her saving my pockets. She shares tips and tricks on couponing. She is the queen of couponing. So you all need to check out Shariva. And we also have on our panel, we're going to introduce Victoria. Welcome, Victoria. Now, Victoria Holland is a native of Martinsville, Virginia, and currently resides in Greensboro, North Carolina. So we have Atlanta, DMV, and North Carolina in the house, okay? She is the youngest daughter of Elder Edward Holland and the late First Lady, Nanny Holland. Evangelist Holland is the proud parent of three beautiful daughters, Christy, Katina, and Tamika Red, all of Greensboro, North Carolina, and three grandsons, Trenton, Josiah, and Julian. And she has three beautiful godchildren. She is the founder and facilitator of Victoria Elevates LLC, which is the umbrella that covers elevated, not tolerated, coaching and motivational services. Elegant Elevations floral designs, Anointed New Dreams, and a host of other arising businesses. Victoria is a certified master life coach with numerous ranges of specific expertise. However, her favorite is elevation and motivation. She has taken a leap in the pandemic and even started her own online talk show, Uncensored Conversation with Elevated Not Tolerated, that is currently aired every Sunday night. In 2018, she had a dream of bringing coaches together who needed an opportunity to talk about their expertise. She felt that it was not enough openings to help new coaches feel welcomed in the industry. She brought that dream to reality with the creation of the Coaches on Parade program, and its first event was in April of 2019. Evangelist Holland, a powerful and anointed woman of God, has been given the vision of ministry in February of 2005. And she is a family-oriented and positive individual who just simply loves God with everything she has. She is a true leader, motivator, conqueror, and teacher. Her praise is out of this world, and her worship is for real. Welcome, Victoria, to Luncheon with Lisa. So welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you all for coming on Luncheon with Lisa. I also wanted to, I celebrate Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't need much to celebrate. So I wanted to tell you all, being the last show of the month when I first launched this, the first week of August, is a big deal. So thank you all for being a part of Luncheon with Lisa for my very first month. And we're going to get right into it. And our subject today is actually going to be about collaboration. And I wanted to talk about the pros and the cons, and not just collaboration in business, but in life. I think every relationship is some kind of collaboration. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the pros and the cons, because all of you have on some level collaborated with someone or had to think about connecting and networking with someone. And what were some of the experiences that you had, pros and cons? We can talk about the good and the bad. But you take your pick on where you want to start, and then we'll just kind of go from there and let it flow. So let's start with Stephen, let's start with you. We won't do ladies first this time. We'll let the guy go first since he's by himself.
Only guy.
You representing, and tell us a little bit, because with your program Strap, you probably have to collaborate with quite a few people to get this underway.
Yes, ma'am. First thing I learned about collaboration is make sure that you understand that it's a shared experience. It's not all about you. Okay, it has to be about the both of you or whoever you're collaborating with. Some of the goods are you can get new ideas. They can help you along the way, give you insight into things that you didn't know about. It could be fun if you're willing to give and take. Understand that you're on the same mission to be successful for both of you, not just one of you. Some of the bad is you got people that's definitely have their own hidden agendas, and it's hard to work around that, because eventually it's going to come out. You're going to find out that they're not all about your success, but just more about their success instead of you guys succeeding together. and they'll be more interested about what they can do, what you can do for them, other than what they can do for you. So those are some things, good and bad, you have to watch out for and collaborate with people. But be mindful.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Be mindful. You got to listen as well as speak.
Right,
Thank
which is very true. So
you.
Julie, let us know what experiences have you had? Because I mean, definitely, I know with the magazine, you got to collaborate with a whole lot of people and all the other things you're doing. So give us some pros and cons of collaborating with folks.
Well, so far I had one negative collaboration, one negative one, where
That's a good scorecard.
Yeah.
one.
Just one.
Listen,
So that's good.
the year is still young. The year is still young, y'all. I had one negative situation, and like Deputy Coley said, you just have to communicate. That's like the foundation. Communication is key, no matter what, good or bad communication. But one thing I have found out, that you must make sure that you have the same shared vision. Same shared vision. When we're going to collaborate and partner, but we're talking about collaboration, it has to be authentic. And if it's not authentic, you're going to find out really fast. You're going to find out really fast that it's not authentic. And things kind of go left. But even with that, you have to be able to turn on the dime, right? Because you know what your vision is. You still have to maintain that forward momentum, even with the negativity. So if you have to pick up the slack, drop the weight, and pick up the slack and keep moving, that's what you do in the negative side. As far as the pros, well, let's talk about the magazine. I'm not going to talk about the business. That's too big. But talk about the magazine. You have to collaborate with a lot of people, as you know, Lisa, with a magazine. Sometimes everybody doesn't cooperate and follow the instruction. But at the end of the day, their heart, you find out that their heart is pure. And they really want to support. They really want to collaborate. But sometimes if their plate is full, it kind of, messes up your flow and what you're trying to do. So patience is key too. So you need communication. You need authenticity, like he said, no hidden agendas, and you need patience, right? So I find that those three factors help me even when people aren't keeping up or carrying their weight. But one thing finally that I've learned is that collaboration kills stardom. So when you have authentic collaboration, it will always be that you're moving together. You're moving together. Even if you meet a stumble in the road or a blunder in the road, you'll come back together and you'll keep moving. But it kills stardom. There's no one is up here, no one is down here. You're moving together, forward movement together. So I would say for me, collaboration kills stardom.
Okay. I like that take on it. I never thought about but it's supposed to. Because there's all kinds of definitions of you can collaborate. It doesn't mean that it's a good collaboration, but you can collaborate, So so Tracy, and then we're gonna introduce Tandra. We're gonna catch you. Hello, how are you? Welcome, Tandra. We're going to introduce Tanya, and hopefully we'll get Victoria back on so we can talk with her. But Tracy, I know with the Tracy's Tasties, you were mentioning something about possibly maybe getting them in a storefront. So I know that's definitely an example where you would have to kind of collaborate with someone and y'all both have to be on the same accord. But even in life, collaborating with, a social club or something you're involved in, what are your takes and what has been your experience with collaborations?
Well, I'm still relatively new, so I'm just getting really started in March. But since I've gotten started, I've met with a restaurant owner who has really loved my cakes, and he wants to put them on his menu. And I'm like, great, that's wonderful. But we have to collaborate and decide how to do that. What's the best way to get them, which recipe, and I don't want to give him my recipes.
Right.
That's mine. You're not going to get that. But I want to make sure that everything stays authentic, everything stays fresh, everything is my vision.
Right.
Because I don't want it to become commercialized. I don't want it to become, mass produced.
Right.
So I just want to make sure everything stays the way I intended it to be.
Right.
So there's certain cakes that won't be able to be sold as sliced. They'll
Okay.
only be able to. So we're working on, do we do a whole cake or do we do slices? Which cakes do we do just for slices that will be on the menu? Which cakes will be for the front of the store where you're saying,
Right.
this is a whole cake? So we've been working on that, and that's a learning experience because
Right.
he purchased a few cakes a couple of weeks ago, and he said, well, I'm just going to experiment and put them in the freezer. I said, that's a bad idea. And I knew. I said, that's not going to work. My cakes are meant to be fresh. You're not going to thaw this out and get the same taste.
Right.
I'm telling you that now. But he had to learn on his own, and
Right.
he found that out real quick that no, that's not going to work. So we're working through those growing pains of this isn't going to work.
Right.
This is going to
And
work.
what's a win-win for both of you all, so that, the storefront versus your cakes, that you all are both getting the same energy, that they know where the cakes are coming from, but at the same time, you all, because I mean, a good collaboration to me is when you both are being promoted together.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like, and sometimes it does come out that way where it looks like somebody, because everybody has to give the same energy too.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing with collaborations is that you can try, but if it's not the same energy from everybody, it will look off balance. But especially with when you're talking about cakes in the storefronts, everybody has to be pleased. I mean, and it comes down to visually how it's seen and everything. So it has to be the right storefront. If you didn't even like the store, that would be a problem, because you have to be comfortable with where
Exactly. And that's what I liked his menu when I first met him. I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. I like it because I've gone to his brunches.
Okay.
And that's how we met and we started talking. But he wants to keep my brand. He loves my, my boxes and my cards. And so we're going to keep all of that. We're going to keep that same brand that I have introduced. And he's going to make sure that stays and he doesn't overshadow Tracy's Tasties.
Right. And if y'all see Tracy's Tasties, I have not had any of the tasties yet, but when I look at her cakes, I am just like, oh my gosh. So we're definitely going to make sure they can get in touch with you. But those are some good points. I wanted to introduce you all to Tanya Price. She joined us. So let me tell you a little bit about Tanya, and then we'll ask you the question about collaboration, because you definitely collaborate quite a bit. So I want you to meet Tanya Price, who's a speaker, author, trainer, and networking coach with over 15 years of experience as a network marketer and sales professional. Tanya created her next ventures, coaching and creating an empowerment movement for women in business and those aspiring. This concept quickly became successful, which led Tanya to create Conversation Over Coffee. And make sure I'm saying this right. You Kinetic. You Kinetic. Yes. Okay. So, because I knew I was going to say, I was like, I'm saying it. And then when I get ready to say it, I'm not going to say it right. Tandra's woman empowerment brands focuses on connections, networking, and resources. The pillars: connection, networking, and resourcing, with the added bonus of accountability, have proven to be techniques needed to effectively network, strategies to grow businesses, and gaining resources to become a valued resource to others. Conversation Over Coffee's networking platform ideally focuses on building relationships through conversations. And then You Kinetic, I'm gonna get that. It's a tongue twister. Is a platform that assists women in tapping into the power of networking and teaching them how to leverage different multi-level marketing resources and strategies to create generational wealth. So please welcome Tanya to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it's the pros and cons of collaboration, because it can be a good thing and it can be a scary thing.
It can be, for me, collaboration, because I do so much networking and I build communities like all over. I mean, collaboration for me is a good thing because I'm looking for the cross-pollination with other communities to grow business and to, give those communities to other ladies to be able to foster good relationships. I mean, I kind of do my collaboration based on, we can all collaborate without any type of competition. And I kind of really focus on those main things with the simple principles of, like a lot of you ladies said, communicating, leveraging the strengths of other people, trust, communicating, and actually empowering other ladies. I mean, for me, I look at collaboration as all positive because, I mean, you know what? It can accelerate your business. It can give you more prospects and clients. I mean, it can help you even be innovative in a lot of ways, but it brings so many opportunities. Just like now for us with what we're doing in our communities, I mean, we're connecting internationally while doing the collaboration. I mean, there could be some positive, some negatives to collaboration. And, if you don't have the same people, with the same like-minded, I mean, you can't really grow, because to me, for collaboration should equal some results. And the results is when you actually, connect with people who have the same common goals. So,
right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I focus and build on collaborations, each and every time we do one of our networking events. It's about collaborating with other ladies across the board, learning their journeys and how they can be able to be inspirational and inspired to the other ladies who are going through some of the same struggles and juggles that we deal with them as being business owners.
Absolutely. So, and that takes work, because sometimes, if it's not the collaboration that you were thinking of in the beginning, it's still an opportunity to learn better ways to connect with people. I mean, every experience is a learning experience. So, and we're going to ask Shariba. Shariba is actually, I won't say she's collaborating, but she's multitasking right now, because she's part of several of my collaborations as far as all my businesses. So my right hand indeed. But Shariba, share with us, because Shariba has her own company, Saving My Pockets, and actually in some of the areas that she actually does her couponing, there are thousands of people in some of those groups. So she's having to network with a whole lot of people, which means there's a whole lot of different energies. So Shariba, share with us a little bit about collaborations, pros and cons.
So for me, I agree with just about what everybody has said so far. I think collaboration is amazing, and I think I see more pros than there is of cons. Granted, if I start off with the cons, it's more so of personality differences, not understanding, or someone may feel some way and you just be like, no, I'm not having it that way, having those personal connections with folks. Sometimes people are just not, I say all the time, maybe I'm just not your cup of tea. I'm very animated. I'm the lively one. I'm trying to make everybody smile, get everybody together, and so if I think about other cons, it's like lack of experience. So someone may not have that much, they may say they have the experience in something, but when you actually get to working with them and collaborating with them on different things, it doesn't turn out to be, you be like, you just put that on a piece of paper just to make you think like that. Stop playing. And then consistency. Consistency is so important when you're collaborating, because if you come at me like this, you're on it, you're on task every time, and then all of a sudden I hear crickets, I'm gonna think something's wrong. Like, are you okay? Is there something going on? Do I need to be concerned? A lot of the pros are there's so many tools that are out here to help us to collaborate. We talk about Zoom, especially when you think about the pandemic and how much it has changed the way we do business. We could talk about Zoom, we talk about StreamYard, we could talk about Google Meet. They have so many different things like whiteboards. If you're talking about corporate world, they have so many different tools that you can use. You can sit there and do a whiteboard and everybody can see what you're doing at the same time. Good team building and stuff like that. They got Trello. It's so many different tools out here. But then when you think about collaborating also, we have to think about, okay, let's think about Beyonce and Adidas. Let's think about Jordans and key. And even parenting, when you're parenting, you're collaborating, you're thinking, okay, so if they're going to go to school, are they going to go to private school, or are they going to go to public school? Are they going to do this, or are they going to do that? You know,
Right.
so many different aspects of collaborating, but I think it's really sometimes when you're doing it by yourself, you may not think about all the different things that you could do when you're in a group together and everybody has the same vision. And even if everybody doesn't have the same vision, it's also we're all working to that same goal, you know,
right.
One way or another. And then some people have more insight in other things. So someone may be more in the tech world, so they can help you in that aspect. Or in this person could be really good with writing, because I may not be good at writing. I may write something, you'd be like, what's wrong with your punctuation? Like, you have to keep that in mind. Like, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses and find those people that are out there that's gonna, help you collaborate to make this bomb finished product. Like, okay, this is our vision. How can we find the right key people? Even when I talk about Saving My Pockets or these other couponing groups in the world, there are thousands of people out here. And so we have to have so many admins in certain groups because we have to keep things flowing. We have to keep on giving out the deals that come out every week. We got to, if this person's doing Walmart, all right, this person got to do Walgreens and stuff like that. So we always have the wheel spinning and be on top of the things. Oh, that person didn't post this week, so let me collaborate, make sure that they're all right. Or do I need to get you some help to help you if you're, if you're not doing well, or if you're sick, you're out going to take a vacation, whatever the case may be. Having each other's back is also important as well when you're collaborating too.
Yeah, I think, and I was going to hit on something that you mentioned, that it takes, and it actually is what Julie mentioned too, as far as like an ego. We have to release that ego when we're collaborating with other people, because we have to be okay to, and it's not coming down, but to be able to meet people in a space where both of you work. So if you go into a project and you're just like, you're just kind of visioned on, I came into this to do this my way, this is how it's going to be, that won't work in collaboration because someone else is coming in the same way. So you have to be open to listen to someone else and say, oh, okay, I didn't think of it like that. Or take guidance. Like you said, there's going to be things that you might not be good at, or you get into it and realize, oh, you're better at this and I'm better at this. So let's, split it and make sure that it works out so that it is a good product in the end and everybody feels like they've contributed to the process. You know what I'm saying? So because a lot of times you go in thinking that we in this together, but your mindset is still single. Absolutely. It's not, you're not open to the couple. You're just kind of like, yeah, I'm standing here, but I'm by myself. And that doesn't work.
Respecting each other's opinions. You may not agree with that person's opinion, but at least they brought it to the table. You could take it how you want it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to let you all know Victoria's trying to get in. I think she has some technical difficulties, so she can't join us. I did want to mention, I think we got her back in, because I wanted her to talk about, she's actually having an event coming up in September that is speaking specifically to collaboration, and I want her to tell you a little bit more about it. Victoria, I'm glad you're finally in. Can you hear us? I think you're on mute. Because what I want Victoria to do is share a little bit about, she is planning an event that has to do with collaboration as well. And hey, Victoria, how are you?
I am I'm sorry. So sorry.
Oh, no problem at all.
The power,
so look,
everything.
This is perfect. This is perfect timing. So we want you to come in and tell us, we gave a little bit about what you do, but I want you to talk a little bit about collaboration and the pros and cons. And then I want you to share a little bit, because you have an event coming up that is specifically speaking to collaboration. And it's going to go even deeper than where we're going to go. And I think this is one of those topics where you want to talk about it, but then you don't want to talk about it because, you know, toes can get stepped on, fingers can get smashed. But we have to do that stuff to learn. You know, you got to learn, you got to do something wrong before you figure out how to do it right sometimes. So, you know, talk to us, Victoria.
Well, first, let me apologize again. I don't know what's going on with the the powers that be, or the powers that don't be. I don't know. But thank you so much for having me. To the fellow panelists, I apologize. I will definitely make sure I go back and review what I missed. But yes, like you said, collaboration is a very hot topic. It's also the downfall of not collaborating properly is also as bad, because you know, I don't know what you guys have already said, but what happens a lot of times is that we as individuals, you know, the trust factor is something that happens. You know, we are starting out in businesses, or we're starting out in relationships, or we're starting out in something, and we're looking for somebody to give us, to allow us to glean from them because they have knowledge and wisdom. We start talking, we start trusting in those powers that be, only to find out that maybe not so. And then if you're the person that's providing the help or the leadership, if you will, sometimes we cross the line because we say, oh, that's a good idea, maybe I can do it better. The thing is, what happens when you cross the line, and how do you get back on track, and how do you know how to trust again? Collaboration means people gathering of the like minds, that they see something that is powerful, that can burst open freely, but all of a sudden the collaboration takes a down the street tactic. You know, you got great information, and you're the person who knows what's happening, and you're the person who's got it going on, but then you see someone who's not at that level yet, that needs your help. Do you help them, or do you take their idea from them? In a relationship, do you empower them to be greater? You know, we all do it. You know, you empower them to be greater, or do you peck on the flaws? A phrase that I use all the time is eagles and we're soaring, but chickens cluck and even crows peck. So what happens when the crows start pecking and the chickens start clucking? What happens? There's no eagle soaring. There's something that's not going to make it to that next level. So what happens? So one of the reasons why, you know, what has happened to me over the last couple of years with starting my programs is I've had to go, and I wanted to get information from someone who is greater in the field. And I wanted to say, hey, I just need some help. I don't know about technology. That's my weakness, if you will. Can you help me? I don't know about this. Can you help? Oh, yeah, sure. And you start feeling comfortable, and you start sharing. You start sharing a place of comfortability, but all of a sudden the lines get crossed. What do you do? What do you really do? Sometimes we don't know what to do. And so that's what happens. And so the conference that we have coming up September the 5th, and Lisa, I'm so thankful that you're one of those people that's on the conference. But collaboration versus conspiracy. What happens when you cross the line? What happens with that? And so we have to be able to teach other people to recognize the characteristics of collaborators, and we have to also take the characteristics of what to look for to find those people who don't know the difference.
Absolutely.
And we have to empower ourselves with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now we got a question from Sharon that I want to ask, but I wanted to kind of piggyback on that before we I'm gonna throw this question at you all from Sharon. But you know, and it's also learning what is a misunderstanding versus intentional. You know, I wanted to take from you, because a lot of times I think it's and maybe that's the good side of me wants to believe that a lot of times it's just a total misunderstanding, but that's where the communication comes in, because one of the next things you do is you have a conversation so that you can figure out what it was, because a lot of times we think we know what it is, but we got to dig into it a little bit to find out. And if we just have that conversation, we might be able to work through some of those things. But a lot of times, you know, feelings get involved. And then the next thing you know, the collaboration is over because, you know, you didn't take that next step. So I want to actually, and Sharon asked a good question. What she actually asked, what is the difference between collaborating and partnering? Which is it's a difference there. So why don't you, I'm gonna go through everybody and just ask you all, what do you think the differences are? Shariva, can you help me out? What do you think the difference between collaboration and partnering is? Then I'll move on down.
Well, I would think as part of being a partner with someone that we have the same vision of and same goal or same, we're coming together. This is our baby and we got the same vision and we wanted to execute that. And those that are working with us, they are collaborating with us at the same time they're serving us to fulfill this particular vision. I kind of touched already on the collaborating part as far as, you know, making sure we're collaborating as far as together. But I think if someone's your partner in the particular business, we are on the same page. We have those meetings on a regular basis to make sure that we're still aligned and we're following what I consult. You know, I get my analyst mind on because my full-time job, but we on the same page as our standard procedure of where we're planning on going and how we're going to break it out.
Yeah, I agree. So Tanya, what do you think about the difference between the two?
I think there definitely has some similarities to them, but I think when you're partnering up with someone, each person has a different set of responsibilities to bring to the table. I think that, you know, in a sense, you know, when you collaborate, you decide to become partners, but I think it goes back to showing the accountability, the different type of responsibilities that each one is bringing with the different levels of their strength and the respect of each other. You're right, because when you decide to partner, you do already set out with a common goal. But once each partner actually brings something into the fold of the collaboration, it makes it more of a one unit instead of just you know, we're constantly dividing each other. So that's
right. I agree. You shouldn't be able to see that line once it's a good partnership. So Julie, what do you think are the differences between the two?
What Shariva said and what Tandra said.
She took my answer.
I like that.
She collaborated the two and partnered up with the response.
Good job. I like that.
Seriously,
that
but the only thing, right? Exactly. The only thing that I would add, as on the partnering side, is sometimes there's gonna be a situation where you have to connect money. When I say connect money, say the budget is $5,000, $10,000, and we have to each come up with half if that's the agreement. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it's like that. So if money is involved in the partnership, I mean, baby, that thing got to be
tight. That's
right. Yes,
or there's gonna be problems, right? This is why that's why when Shariva said sometimes they're similar, because even with collaboration that could happen too, where you can share budgetary needs. You know what I'm saying? But this is why communication has to be the foundation, the vision has to be there, the like-mindedness, and above all else, integrity, man. Integrity.
Yes. So I wonder, and actually I'm gonna leave to Victoria and then Stephen, we're gonna to end with that question with you. But Victoria, do you have anything to add to those differences?
When I look at the two, the collaboration is the mentoring piece. That's where you're going to get your help from. The partnership is where like you ladies have already said, that's where your finances and your connection, you're working together to make the dream happen. Where the collaborator is the one that you're going to vent to. You're going to get that gleaming piece from. You're going to get the understanding of how to from the teacher in them, if you will.
Right. I didn't even think about it like that, but that is when you're collaborating, you kind of throwing, everybody's putting their stuff on the table, and then we just trying to figure this out. So, and Tracy and Stephen, did you all have anything you wanted to add to it, or?
I would just say collaboration is a change of ideas, whereas partnership is I guess, a change of responsibility, a sharing responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would agree with Stephen. To me, a partnership is two people coming together. We're going to do this. We're going to put our money in, and this is how we're going to do it. A collaboration is this: you have a skill, I have a skill. Let's collaborate into one thing and make it happen.
Right, because a collaboration can be that someone is the face of it, but then someone else is behind the scenes. It doesn't make anyone more or less. It's just that wherever your skill set is, that's where you go. Now, when it comes into the money situation, I personally feel like if the collaboration is not, like tight, then money should never even come into play.
Right.
Because that just has to be in place first. Because I mean, like Julie said, there's a whole lot of things that got to be on point before we even talk about exchanging, funds, because money makes things funny sometimes. So, and the other thing, especially with integrity, is that you have to be able to work with people who trust who you are and what you're about. And a lot of times people come into, it's like we go into relationships because I said part of this was pros and cons of not just business but life. But even in relationships, sometimes whether it's your friendships or personal relationships, and business, you have to be able to know the people that you're working with, and you can't listen to outside noise, because people, things happen, people say things, so you have to know who you're talking to. So if I'm collaborating with, for instance, Shariva, and we working on some business things, I can't jump at the first thing I hear from somebody outside of our space, because I already made certain determinations about somebody. So if I'm so quick to fall off of that, then that's a whole nother, that's something that I need to think about. And at the same time, there are feelings and things and past experiences that we bring when we're starting to collaborate. So the next time I collaborate with somebody, I'm bringing all of my baggage of what I've experienced and what didn't go well, what did go well. So we have to make sure that when we enter into these collaborations, that we kind of keep that at a kind of pause. It's still there, but it shouldn't guide you, because this is somebody new. You've never done this before with this person. So it is a trust level, and that takes work. But it's a two-way street with that kind of trust. So we also have to trust our discernment of who we're entering into collaborations with. So, and that's why collaborations are so important, because we can't do this by ourselves. We really can't. I mean, even if we have this certain skill set that allows us to do this, we're not going to be able to go all the way until we bring somebody else into the fold and make it happen. And I've talked on the previous show, I talked about competition. In the same regard, we had a show last week about competition, and it's work. You don't just go in and then everything just meshes. It's just like with relationships. You don't just go in and everything's just so wonderful. And no, you got to put some work in. And there are times when you're going to want to bail out. And there's times when you're like, I'm going to get back in. So, and Lisa Lisa Harwell, thank you so much for joining. She actually mentioned it too. Communication is everything. And that a lot of communication is going to lead you to working through those kinks. Because you're going to think all kinds of things, but you gotta talk and work it through.
And being transparent. You can't.
Being transparent. That's a good one. That's a good, and that to me is a self thing. Like, I have to be able to trust you enough to bring me to the table, not my representative, because I don't want to see yours, so you shouldn't see mine. We need to be able to have a conversation about what's going on. Corey and I talked in length, and that was the first time we ever talked, but you usually feel some kind of connection with people. It's that moment when you connect with somebody and then something goes awry, and you have put your trust in that person, and then you think something different. But that's the moment when the communication becomes definitely key, because you tend to go on your own tangents, but you got to come back to the table. I always say go back to the drawing board and figure out whether we go forward or we go in separate directions, but we're going to be good either way. Either way, everybody's good. It's a win-win situation. So I love talking about this kind of stuff, because I think COVID and what we've come to has given us an opportunity to collaborate and work with so many more people than we would have ever been able to connect with in person. Because you go to conferences and you see people, but you never get to meet everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet a couple of people and then you leave and you never use a business card or whatever. But to me, when I get to see you all here, it does allow you to focus on people a little more. And it just brings their names and their faces to the forefront. And then you're like, oh yeah, remember I worked with this person on this. So I love stuff. We're collaborating right now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But like with Victoria,
this is a perfect
who is it?
example.
Yes.
It's a perfect example. This is a perfect example of what true collaborators do. Is we sit together and we talk and we communicate and we laugh. Even if you don't agree on every piece, you're still having that listening ear where you can even sense in the atmosphere that you're all on one accord. I mean, coming into the group, it's all here together. We may have differences in what we do, but at the end of the day, we're able to talk about it and communicate it. But when you get to the point where there's no communication, there's no connection, and one's fighting the other, one is, like you said, competing with the other, that's when you lose all of the fun. Everything throws off the table.
That's true. And I know we've gotten some, Sharifa. I know we might have missed some questions, and we're definitely going to get to them. If not even during the show, we'll make sure that we respond back. I want to quickly, because I think Maria has a question. During your ventures, can you identify what has been your best collaboration and how did it propel your vision? That's a good question, Maria. We're going to real quickly ask, and then we had another one from Kamani who said, is it the time or the season to collaborate or partner with a person or organization? So for some people, they might feel like that this is. Other people may feel like, well, no, I like in person. I want to really feel your energy in the room. It can be pluses and minuses to both. Quickly, I want to make sure we answer this question so that I can have you all share where people can reach you and find you so that they can continue to collaborate. So y'all, did anybody want to take a stab at that one or a couple of questions?
I would like to. I mean, I think this is right now the perfect time to collaborate. I mean, even like right now, I mean, there's so many, information and so many groups out there that are looking just like this platform that are looking for people to come up and kind of, speak their voice and kind of let them share their skills and talents. I think this is just the perfect time, especially with everything that's going on. I've seen businesses that I've been coaching people with, their business have excelled and took them to the next level. So is this a time to collaborate? Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. So is it Kamani? Yeah, we got an answer for you. She said, do it. Just do it. And the other question was with Maria. Maria had asked about what was your best collaboration and how did it propel you forward? We're going to answer that question real quick from somebody, and then we're going to move on to a little bit of fun before we tune out.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
I'll take that one. I would say my best collaboration was this summer's magazine. I got to meet some of the coolest, awesomest. Oh my gosh. Is awesome is the word? Look.
Yes, it is.
It is now, right?
It's tonight, right? It's the word tonight. Some of the awesomest people in magazine publications, and oh my gosh, the pendulum swung all the way to the right because it was just a diverse amount of people, artists, authors. One of the authors was from Simon & Schuster, best-selling author. She's the one that's on the front, on the cover. I mean, and now I'm networking with a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? This was the best the bestest
The best.
collaboration
I
I've
love
had.
it. The bestest.
Yeah.
And I would actually
It
concur
was
with
the
you with the
best.
magazine, because with the magazine, you're meeting people that are in all kinds of different areas
Yes.
outside of your expertise. And I love to
Yes.
just be able to watch
Yes.
people shine in their own, stuff.
Yes.
It's like having somebody in fashion, having somebody in music, having somebody who loves, opinion pieces. I mean, I love people with opinion pieces, because sometimes they're writing things that you don't have the courage to write just yet, but it's like, oh, write that stuff and put it out there. I can handle the
Yes.
fight, but I'm not gonna write it. So I mean,
Yes.
I totally agree with that. And collaboration is actually, most of the collaborations, I would have to say, have been propelled me forward because of the energy. It's that energy, matching energy with other people, that keeps me motivated. So Shariva and I have been, collaborating on quite a few of my business, all of my businesses. But her energy, I don't have the energy Shariva has, but the collaboration between the two of us keeps me motivated. It keeps me, sometimes when I'm probably just kind of dragging a little bit, I can't help but keep moving, because Shariva is like, okay, all right. And she motivates me. And that's what you need, because you need, like, sometimes it's opposite of you that keeps those other things, like, moving, because I don't have all that energy all the time. I just don't. I don't even know when I do have some. I don't know where it's coming from, because I'm tired. No, but
From Shariva.
Shariva has a lot of energy, and it just beams off of her. So y'all take some of that energy on here today. But before we go, I wanted everybody, I want you to tell everybody where to find you, and then I'm gonna do a quick just because moment before we get out of here, because y'all remember that today is National Just Because Day. So let me start with Stephen. Tell us real quick a little bit about Strap and where we can find more information, because you do some really good stuff for our youth.
Yes, ma'am. Well, STRAP is simply an intervention program where we provide our youth with knowledge and experience that they might not get at a younger age, to get them prepared for the future. Try to make sure that they stay out of trouble. Their ages from 13 to about 17 years old. It's a 6-month long program. They culminates in the graduation. They come into the program through the course system. They have probation officers and things of that nature. They also get in through word of mouth. We like doing young men to have single parents, female as a single parent is having trouble with us youth too. They also come to us that way. And what we do, we teach them different things for during the 6 months curriculum. They're taught by judges, they're taught by lawyers, they're taught by law enforcement, they're taught like people from communities. We like to take them on jail tour, not to scare them straight, but let them know that you'll make an informed decision. So this is where you're going to be, and you got to look at what you got.
And this option, it might be on the table, right?
Exactly. We take them to a college tour, and you can make your choice.
That's right. That's right.
Then we try to stay in touch with them. We've had quite a few success stories, and that would keep us going. So we're very happy to do it, and we thank God for the help He's given us in being being successful at what we do. Okay, and it's just a community program.
And you're out of Gwinnett County in Georgia, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I did notice you all have a Facebook page. Is it where can they get in contact with you? I know I will say shout out to my sister. My sister is a lawyer down there in Georgia. She's part of the program too. She helps out with the program as well. So I'm so proud of her. I couldn't get her on. She was we're opposite in that regard. So I couldn't get her on.
Yeah, she also teaches, and she helps us with legal parts of the program as well. So she's wonderful. And when y'all look at her, y'all looking at her sister, okay? You look at Miss White, y'all looking at her sister, I'll tell you that.
She is I'll go with the younger age, since she's a little younger than me. So, but tell us how we can keep in contact with you or your program.
Well, I'll tell you, the best way you can is by our number.
Okay.
It is nice, 770-972. I'm sorry, 770-978-0918. And you can also get in touch with us through the Facebook program. We're trying right now to set up a website, so that should be in the works pretty soon, okay?
Okay, and please give us that information so I can share it on the Lunchin with Lisa page.
I sure will.
And so, Tracy, tell us where we can get these Tracy's Tasties.
I am on Facebook and Instagram under Tracy's Tasties. That's Tracy with an E. I'm very attached to my E. Don't forget the E. Um, you can place an order via instant message on Instagram or Facebook, and I have an automatic response that will let you know the prices, how to place your order, and how to get all your let's try that again in English to get your Tracy Tasty.
And you all have to go to her page and see some of her. They are beautiful, tasty treats. Oh my gosh, I can't. You just have to look at them, because every time I look at one, I'm like, oh my gosh, it had to take 5 hours to do that. They're so beautiful.
It
so you
is
got
very
to check it
time
out.
consuming, but
Yes,
it's a passion, and when you have a passion for it, it's easy.
yes,
Yeah.
but it looks wonderful. So
Thank
Julie, tell us where we can find you and connect with you in your magazine.
Okay, so my primary page is Julie Husbands, and like Tracy, I am very affectionate to the S on the last name on the end of my last name, husbands, plural, right? That's my primary page. Kingdom Style Magazine page is also on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Kingdom Citizens Network, and I can be contacted via Kingdom Citizens Network at gmail.com. The website
Okay.
will be finished by the end of the month, because I had to switch website companies, so I had to start all over. So the new website will be finished by the end of the month.
And you all please share that information with me so I can make sure it's on our page so people can still continue to reach out to you. So Victoria, tell us where everybody can find you, and where they can get in touch to start checking for your September 5th events.
I think she's frozen.
We lost her. So as soon as she comes back, Tandra, tell us where we can find you and connect with you, have some conversations over coffee.
Yeah, so I have my ladies group. It's a ladies networking group. We do it every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Central Time. Please feel free to come. Join our Facebook page. We're trying to get our membership up. It is Conversation Over Coffee. It's a Facebook page, and you can also connect with us on our IG page, our Instagram page, which is conversation_over_coffee. And then you can just connect with me personally, which is Tandra Price. We do like I said, a weekly networking event every week from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I would love to have some of you on there as one of my guest speakers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tandra. Before we go to Shariva and then do the Just Because moment, I'll share, just in case Victoria can't come back, I'm glad we really did get her for the gist of what we were talking about. But she has an event coming up September 5th. And like she said, the title of it is Collaboration versus Conspiracy. And we're just going to get real with, things that happen with collaboration, because if anything else, it's a learning experience. And you can find Victoria I think it's Victoria M. Holland on Facebook. And she does have a Sunday night show. Her business is called Elevated, Not Tolerated, which I love, because that's that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. So thank you so much, Victoria. Hopefully she can come back in before we shut down. But please reach out to Victoria, and we will share her information on the page as well. So before we get to Just Because, Shariva, tell us where we can learn couponing tips, because one day I'm going to learn me some couponing.
I'm going to learn too, Shariva.
I welcome everybody. So you can find me at Saving My Pockets on Facebook as well as on Instagram. We do have a intimate Facebook group that is devoted to teaching people how to coupon, as well as pre and post COVID. We will do live classes as well. And then I also am an admin as far as for Crazy for Couponing, and that's the larger scale group, which has over probably 19,000 or so. So if you want to get the deals, you just come on in there. And then also we have a podcast being launched this weekend. So if you have Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, you can go ahead and subscribe now. So
yes,
listen and get some of these deals. And so, yeah, I'm always here to help anybody. So come find me.
I told you that energy. I'm telling you that. And I will say that we did. You know, I try to keep us leveling up, and Shariva being part of my partner collaboration, everything. We've been pushing Facebook Live since the first week of August, but tonight we actually pushed out to YouTube as well. So that's why I was able to see, because you know, you have people who are not on social media necessarily, but I was able to see my sister chime in because it's hard to get her up in here. You don't do social media, but thank you so much, sis, for just yes. I thank my family. I'm sure my mother is there somewhere too. So I appreciate all of you all for coming on. Before we leave, I wanted to share because like I said, it's National Just Because Day, which is my favorite holiday, just because it's just my favorite. So I wanted to give away 2 books because I rarely do this. I'm usually kind of highlighting other people, and sometimes I have to remind myself or my team, Shariva, all of them say, you know, you need to promote yourself too sometimes. So I wanted to mention that I do have 2 books. First book is The Power of Shut Up, which is my baby. I love this book, and the message in here is real, because I know this is not the favorite side of the argument, but you know, sometimes we talk too much. And this book is actually, you know, a self-check book. But I'm proud of it because I can admit that we do sometimes, and it's not just for men. I mean, for women, because I do get the comment from men. Yeah, I need to get that for my wife. It's not just for women. It's for everybody, but it's about communication, and it's not necessarily about taking your voice away from you. It's just about teaching you how to use your voice wisely. There's a time and a place for everything, and you know, thinking first before speaking sometimes equates to not saying it at all. Okay, it'll save a lot of relationships and things. So the other book is my very first, because in honor of collaborations, my very first collaboration book. And Maria Thorpe was actually on the line. She's part of this collaboration. There were 6 of us, including myself. This is the very first book under my publishing company. Oh, thank you, Henrietta. I appreciate you. This is my first book under my publishing company, Touched by Dove Publishing, and it was my very first collaboration. I'm sure there'll be more, and I'm excited to bring on some new clients that are coming on board to Touched by Dove Publishing. But I wanted to give this book package away, but I have a question, and I don't know if I'm so bad at this, so I don't know if it's easy or hard, but I wanted the first person who's maybe watching, whether it's YouTube, Shariva, see if you can keep a lookout, but I wanted to see if someone remembered what the release date of The Power of Shut Up was, and kind of an added bonus question, I might not kill you if you don't know it, but try, is what was I celebrating in picking that date? So what was the date that I actually released The Power Shut Up? Is there anybody out there that maybe knows that before we say goodbye? Because there was a purpose to the date of release for The Power Shut Up. There was a reason, because you know, I just got to be different sometimes. It's just, I mean, why not, you know? So but I want to give these to somebody. So Cherie, did you see anybody mention anything? I'm wondering if we should wait till see if the first person who, oh my goodness, I just want to say it so bad, so I can't say it though. So maybe we'll wait. We'll give them to this evening for anybody who watches this. We'll give it to. You have someone? No, Maria. It was close. It was in the vicinity. Okay, but not quite. But I'm gonna give everybody till midnight. We'll replay this on our social media pages, and the first person who actually tells me at least when was the release date, and don't go Google it, don't go to Amazon, but tell me, and then if you do know why I chose that date, that would be just a plus. But this was my baby, and you can find this. You can actually contact me for your copy assigned, or you can actually go to Amazon Kindle, Walmart, Target, Barnes and Noble, and Books A Million. I'm trying to get the message out there, y'all. So yeah, just please support everybody that's been on the show. Thank you all so much for joining me for my last show of August and to celebrate National Black Business Month. So next August, definitely making sure that that's what I do. But all year long, I like to celebrate people, and I love to see people. I love to see people win. So I appreciate you all, and I'm sure that you all will be back because I'm going to just be home, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So thank you all so much, and I hope to see everybody next Thursday. For the month of September, we will be not celebrating, but we will be making ourselves aware of Alzheimer's, because September, I believe, is the month for Alzheimer's. And I do already know that the next show will have playwright Garrett Davis and the cast of Mama's Girls, who is coming back. You all have got to tune in. That play is the bomb, and it's a serious message about Alzheimer's. And because we did lose my grandmother to that is dear to my heart as well. So I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. And every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m., y'all can come back and lunch with Lisa. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Thank you.